to a Gap Chat. This is Jim McKenzie and Don Niederfrank saying thanks for joining us today. We have a little announcement to make and some comments about what this Sunday is usually all about. But first, let me say hi, Don. How you doing over there in the crisis?
I'm doing fine. I spent the morning doing yard work.
Did you?
I played a game of chess online, did some writing, did some reading, and when we're done here, I'm going to go down the basement and make some sawdust. So a good day. Hey,
Don, I know this might embarrass you a little bit, but people may not know. When you say you've been doing some writing, you're getting into more and more writing, and actually handed me a manuscript of a book that you've written recently. This is something new for you, or you've always been such a prolific writer?
I'll try to not be too embarrassed. When I retired, I started writing some fiction, and then I set it aside for a number of years. In the last couple of years, I've taken it more seriously, and been working on that manuscript of that short novel that I gave you, and have even gotten a couple of short pieces published.
Now that is something worth speaking about.
Well,
not many people can say that, Don.
Yeah, one is a short story, and the other is what's called flash fiction.
Flash fiction.
Yeah, it's a short, and it'll be published in a couple of weeks.
Well, you're having a pretty good retirement then, aren't you?
I am.
Yeah. Well, I assume all of you know, because most of you watching this video know that Don is a retired United Church of Christ minister. I'm kind of a semi-retired, but I'm doing interim ministry, helping churches for a season here and there. But you know, Don, this is the last Sunday of May, and traditionally at our church, First Congregational Church in Port Washington, there's something very important that takes place on this Sunday, and it is Confirmation Sunday.
Oh.
Problem is, we're all in this lockdown, in this stay-at-home Corona crisis furlough. And we're not going to have Confirmation Sunday this Sunday. But I need to tell you, families and confirmands and members of the church, that it is fully our intention to celebrate confirmation and the confirmands experience later in the year, hopefully in the second half probably of August, if all works out well for us.
Sure.
Yeah, but I'd like to read the names of those confirmands in the class this year, Don. I've got a list of everybody, and I need to say to the confirmands how proud we are of you, and to thank Alex and Emily, our confirmation leaders.
They are so cool. They are two of the coolest people in the congregation, really.
High praise.
Yes.
Well, I am very appreciative of the work that they have done this year and the challenges that they've faced. And I'm really sorry they can't follow through on this, the traditional Confirmation Sunday, but our appreciation is no less felt. But let me tell you who are the confirmation class of this year. Haley Bergen, Isaac Davel, Macy Esslinger, Kyle Gushel, Elaine Holmes, Joshua Jock, Elise Carls, Reese Kaza James, Austin Lemke, Bryn Nelson, Madeline Schleyline, and Tessa Yandri.
That's quite a group.
That is a good group of confirmands. That is a really good group, and I can only imagine the joy that they felt throughout the year.
You know what I noticed about that group, Jim?
What is? Yeah.
there's nobody names their kids Jim or Don or Bob or
Not anymore.
not
These are
anymore.
cool names.
Yeah. Yeah.
Reese, Madeline, Bryn,
Joshua's,
Haley.
yeah.
Yeah, those are good names.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even better kids if you know them.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so that's the Gap Chat announcement for today. But Don and I talked about this a little bit. We didn't want to just give an announcement. We really wanted to leave the confirmands with a blessing and a comment or two.
Right. One of the things about confirmation that sometimes gets overlooked is the church is the first institution that treats young people like adults,
Huh?
that says to young people at this time in their life, look, we have given you what we can give you. You are now of an age where you take what you have heard, what you have seen in members of the faith community and so on, and you decide. You now are responsible for your relationship with God in Christ. We've done our bit, and that's the first time I think in these young people's life that somebody says to them, you know what, it's yours.
Well said.
Yeah.
Well said. I like what you say about embracing the faith community, because these confirmands now have free reign to participate in the life of the church in a full and complete way now. It's your church, confirmands. If there's something you'd like to see different, you want to change, you want to help grow, it's your church.
Yes.
Well, Don, do you have a wish or a blessing that you'd like to leave with them?
I do. I want them to begin to see themselves as full, complete persons of faith. That they are that they are ready to move forward as they wish. That the next step that they take, closer, further, however it is yours.
Yeah, closer, further away, that's part of their journey, isn't it? Very nice. Well, I'd like to leave the confirmands with one thought and one blessing. My thought is that in our tradition, in the United Church of Christ tradition, there's no litmus test that you have to subscribe to. There's no set of rules or beliefs that you have to endorse. What we ask of you is to recognize that God gave you a good noggin and expects you to use it. When it comes to your faith, you sort out what makes sense to you, what feels meaningful that you want to embrace, and take hold of that journey for the course of your lifetime. Because, and here's the blessing, towards the end of the first chapter of Genesis, after the creation story, the first creation story was told, God steps back in chapter 1, verse 31, takes a look at all God had made and says, indeed, it was very good. Confirmands, I want you to know something. You are very good. Your experience this year, we hope, has been one of an experience of joy. The journey that you are on, that you will never quite complete, is your journey. And let your mind and your heart lead you as you go along that, because God said, you are very good. This is Jim McKenzie and Don Niederfrank here in the Gap still, but just wanted to check in with you with a Gap chat, saying stay well, stay safe, and stay faithful. And we'll catch you next time right here in the Gap.